Okay, so this is the MVVM portion of the course. And what I'm going to talk about is getting the API call. Okay, so we want to do an API call and we want to make it conform to MVVM, make our functionality conform to MVVM design pattern. That's basically what we're going to focus on. We're not going to focus on generics and a whole bunch of other things. We just want to accomplish what MVVM does, right? And that is it's a best practice, right? And along with the best practice, we want to work in ways efficient. What we don't want to duplicate code, you know, and MVVM. Most importantly, we want to remove the implementation from our view controller and put it into the view model. A lot of people describe it as you want your view controller to be as dumb as possible. And what that means is you don't want the logic that renders screens in the view controller. You want it in a view model, and the view model talks to the view controller. Okay. So that being said, let's get to talking about the API part. This is the API we're going to use. We're going to create an app that you put in initial, and it returns the we get an abbreviation, right? Like ML, NAV, USA, and it returns all of the words or a lot of words that this is an abbreviation for. Okay, that's what this API does. This is the URL that you use. You put it out there. And this, of course, this does a lot of things, right? You can put in the short form, right, which is something like ML or USA or whatever, and it returns words that the short word that your short word is the abbreviation for. You pass this to it, the long form, which is the whole word, and it returns an array of the abbreviations. Along with that, though, of the words that it abbreviates, right? So along with that, you're gonna get the frequency of the number of occurrences of the definition, and the year when the definition appeared for the first time in the corpus. I don't even know what a corpus is. Okay, so again, I have no idea what a corpus is, but we know how to use this. And so let's get an example of what I'm talking about, right? Mhm. And this is an example. So LF, oxygen. Okay, the short form is oxy. And yeah, so yeah. So oxy is the other one. Let's look at some of the other water. Watt. The frequency, it occurs 8 times. Wa, LFS, water. And of course, you have your frequency. And since 1990. Okay. Now let's reverse this. SF, WA. SF equals WA. Wa, Western Australia. Frequency 159 times since 1981. Western Australia. Western Australia. Wait for age. White apricots. Yeah, white American. West African. West African. Washington. Yeah, these are some of the things that WA can be an acronym for. So what we're going to do now is um, we need to take this and put it into a model. And a model basically is an object that has properties or variables, actually constant variables, right? Let variables that that represent the data that you're looking at or the data structure. And we use this to create object models that you're going to use in your software. So I'm going to go here, right? See, and I'm going to take this and I'm going to go to here. This is QuickType, app.quicktype.io. You need to go here. Don't log in. And you go right over here to this corner thing, and you're going to take your API response and you're going to paste it here. And this is your model. Okay. This is the model representation of all the data, right? So you have an object that has a string, and then a string and another property that is an array of LFs. LF is an object that has one property as a string, two, frequency and sense, that are integers, and the last one is vars, which has another array of LF. And this is what we're going to use to parse and make we're going to parse this and we're going to populate our table view with this information. Now, what we don't want all the information, right? We don't want frequency, we don't want sense, we don't want vars. We don't. What we want is this. For every object, we want the LF. We want to take those LFs, put them into a table view and show them. And again, we'll get more into as time goes on, when we do the API call part of the program, we're going to get more in depth and doing all of creating your data model by hand and by eye without the assistance of an app. Okay, but for now we're going to use this assistance because it's a pretty complicated. This is pretty complicated data, and it's hard to see that this is the model. Okay, so yeah, that's it for now. Let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and create our model in our project, and we're on to the next.